Hi everyone! Today I have an epic swatching video for you. I have been requested to do more swatching. I have been a little, erring on the side of not as much swatching because I don't want to bore people, but I'm getting the feedback from my frequent viewers that you really want more swatching. And what I'm thinking is if you're not really into the swatching, you can fast forward through those parts. So we can probably try to please most people. I'm gonna do what I would consider a very epic Kuretake swatching video. I have just got in the Brushables. This is a brush style marker. Each marker comes with two colors. It's really I hope I'm saying this right. It's one tone with a lighter and a darker shade. So like in this case, you're getting antique burgundy and you're getting it in a darker and a lighter shade, but the tips are the same in terms of their size. So I'm gonna swatch all of these in this video today. I'm also gonna talk about how I use them. I'm really excited about them. I have been playing with them nonstop since they arrived. And then I'm also going to be talking about the scroll and brush. A lot of people are really into this marker right now. This one has a scroll tip on one side. It's really like a calligraphy tip with a gouge, a dip in it, so you get a double line, a thicker and a thinner line. And I'm realizing my hands are covered in ink, but that's super normal for me. I'm almost always covered in pen, ink, or marker or something. So sorry about that. And then this is the brush side, which would be comparable to this side of the Brushables. So that probably makes sense. I feel like there is space in my life totally for both of these. I'm just so excited about them. So I'm gonna do some swatching for you right now. And I'm also gonna talk about another favorite brush marker from Kuretake that is, I don't think it's new per se, it's new to me. And that one is it has two names, and I think what they like to call it in English is brush pen number 7. Here it is out of the package. This is the one I've been playing with. It is a small, firm brush style nib. This one is refillable, and I think the packaging is just gorgeous. So I'm excited about it. I want to talk about it. I've been using it a lot. It's nice because it comes with 2 cartridges and is refillable. You can also buy the cartridges separately, and I'll show you what that looks like. Get these bags out of the way. So this is what the refill cartridges look like, and they come 5 in a package. So let me start with why don't we start with the Brushables? Now, I am going to swatch these on white paper in this video, but what I'd like to show you is what they looked like on this creamy yellow paper first, before I show the white. So we can kind of do an overview of the colors here. These are the warm colors. And we have some greens and cooler colors, some greens and blues. We have some purples and grays, gray and black. Now, what I should have told you is what I did here to make each U, I used the lighter side and then the darker side so that you can see the color variation. And I think it looks really cool. Personally, I get very excited about color. So now let me swatch these on white for you because, colors look very different on creamy yellow than they would on white. This is a Nemosine notebook. I really like the paper for brush lettering. I believe I talked about this already in a brush lettering video. But this paper has a lot of nice features. It's perforated, it's this smooth paper. I think if you like rhodia paper, you'd like this paper. You can see the perforation. So it's, I don't know, it's just really nice. Now I will point out that there isn't grid on the back. Now, because I use these to practice brush lettering, I don't mind, because you're gonna get a little bit, with most brush pens or markers, you're gonna get a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it a bleed, it's more like a shadow. So I don't flip over and practice on the other side anyway, although I could. But that's just something to point out about these notebooks. So let me get situated here. I wanna make sure that everyone can see what I'm doing. I'm getting very nervous about how long this video is gonna be. So I'm gonna start with the pinks, the brushable pinks. Now, I went to visit Kuretake recently, and they let me play with like pretty much any product I wanted. And this was one of the products I played with and was like, oh my gosh, why don't I sell this? I think that my sales rep had told me about it and I like didn't listen to her or something, which I should have. So here we have, I just wrote an A in the lighter, this is baby pink, and I just wrote an A in the lighter shade. And now I'll write the A in the darker shade. And again, this is on white, so will look a little bit different than those swatches I made. And here's how I did the other one. I just went first with the lighter and then with the darker, so you get a bit of a gradation. So that's the baby pink. Let me show you real quick. I actually just used the baby pink for another purpose, not brush lettering, in my May daily pages, which is right over here. Excuse me, I'm glad this was here. I hope I don't have anything embarrassing on here, but anyway, I was setting up my May pages in my Leuchtturm bullet journal, and you see this little piggy here? I actually used this Brushables baby pink, probably the lighter shade. I'm pretty sure I would have used the lighter shade because I wanted him to be a real light pink. And this is, of course, is just a stamp that I colored in. Works very nicely. I think, oh, was that in here? I was making roses. I was having fun learning how to make roses with Julia the other day, and I used the Brushables in some of these. This is actually a mild liner. Oops, let me make sure. That one's the pale pink mild liner, but a lot of these are various shades of Brushables, or some of them are Kude color, but I believe almost everything you're seeing here is a Kuretake product. So if you haven't played with Kuretake pens yet, give them a chance. They really care about quality, and when you order from Kuretake, they're almost making your product per order. Like, they care so much about freshness of product that almost every product you order from them actually starts out as a back order, because they're kind of factory ordering your product, if that makes sense. Okay, so why don't we, well, actually this is a shade of purple, I believe. Why don't I go to the pure pink? Can everyone see? Okay, I'm very concerned since this is going to be a lot of swatching. I want you to actually, you know, be able to see it. So this one, a much darker pink, is pure pink. 2 down, 100 to go. Why don't we do pure red next? I like the pure red a lot. It's kind of a vermilion. Now the antique burgundy. You can see that there. Now, just to give you an idea, I will take the antique burgundy in the scroll and brush, and I'll just do like a little thing here. I don't know. So you can kind of see if there's any color variation. Let me see if I can really zoom in. So here I've got the antique burgundy brushables, and here I've got the scroll and brush. Now, I feel like the scroll part always looks a little bit darker than the brush part, but I don't think it really, I mean, I think the only reason for that, I believe it's the same tank of ink inside here. There aren't two different separated out, which is why you should store these horizontally, by the way, and not like this or like this, because if you store them if you store them with one tip up, you'll end up having a more saturated tip down here and a more dried out tip up here. So please, almost all of your Kuretake products should be stored horizontally like this. And that was just a little side note. So the scroll does appear darker, and really it's just because it's like laying stronger on the paper, if that makes sense. There's more, like when you're using this tip, you're going to get a thicker, bolder, oh, I wish I understood how to explain it. When you're doing the brush, unless you're on the downstroke, you know, where you're really saturating more, you're not gonna get as dark of a color, is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I just wanted to show you, like, it's really the same tone, but might appear a little darker or lighter depending on the style that you're doing. So now we know why it takes me forever to swatch. So let me go on to the shades of purple here. I'll do this hyacinth. So maybe it's better to do it at 2 times. So again, that's the hyacinth shade. Now this is the Lunar Lavender. Now what I should be telling you is what a pleasure these are to work with. I mean, I know this video isn't just about the color, but is this Lunar Lavender not amazing? Do they make this in the scroll and brush? I don't think so. I think this is only in the brushables. But this, you know, I get so excited about the colors that I forget sometimes to tell you about how nice it is to use the product. Honestly, I did not expect them to be this awesome, which is why I didn't order them before I tried them when I went to visit. Okay, so this one was Pure Violet, if I didn't already say that. Lunar Lavender and Hyacinth. And now we have Splash. Splash is a beautiful color. It's available in the journal and title. It's available, could have sworn it was available in the, maybe it's not in the scroll and brush. Thought it was, it's not. Okay. English Lavender. Should have done that one here. So a lot of really pretty purples to choose from. It's kind of exciting. Let's do some more blues here. Why don't we do powder blue? So this one is powder blue. And I'll do one more letter because it's fun and I want to. I actually really like these colors that are very light or faded or, you know, very transparent almost. I just really enjoy them. This one is pure blue. This one is a nice and bold. Beautiful, just beautiful. We have navy. This one's fun. It's so rich. Hopefully you still like being zoomed in like that. You'll have to let me know. Why don't I show you the platinum and this is really a shades of gray, the platinum and the black next. So this one is called Platinum. And again, in my first stroke, I'm doing the lighter color, second stroke, darker color, so you can see both. This is pure black. So rich. Why don't I do oranges and yellows next? see. Let me move this a little this way so you can see that. This one is called Butter. What a great name. Love butter. Okay. Pure yellow. You'll have to tell me if you can see a big difference between butter and pure yellow. I do feel like butter might have a little more brown or mustard tone to it, if that makes sense, as opposed to pure yellow, which makes sense. This one is Apricot. Are you still gonna be able to see here? Yes. There we go. And now we have pure orange. I should at least be doing different letters. Just to make it more interesting. Okay, now Cool Cucumber. So that's with the lighter side and the darker side. That's Cool Cucumber. Let's do Kiwi next. So that's the lighter side and then the darker side of Kiwi. And then let's do Spring Green. Lighter, darker, Spring Green. Now, Pure Green. Now this one is really pretty. Just wait until I lay it down. Okay, so that is the lighter side of Pure Green, which I feel like has a, man, I would have called that more of a blue green or an emerald. Don't you think the lighter side of Pure Green looks more emerald? And this to me also, you know, these just look more, I don't know if it's appropriate to say they have a blue in them. You'll have to let me know if you think that. But I was kind of surprised they called this Pure Green and not something like emerald, personally. Especially, I don't know, this Kiwi, yeah, Spring Green, I think is a great name, because I would have, like if you had asked me to name this color, I would have called it Grass Green. I'm glad they called this one Kiwi. I'm kind of sick of everything being called Apple Green. Okay, now let's try these Beige and Browns. So here's Fawn. Which letters should I do? I don't know. So there's the lighter side of Fawn. And now there's the darker side of Fawn. Let me do the U with this one so that you can see them right next to each other, because it's hard for me to tell very much of a variation on the Fawn one. It's a lovely warm color though. And then this one is Root Beer Float, which is a fabulous name. It could be called chocolate though. Once you see it, you'll agree. You know I love my brown shades, and this one is no exception. It's so rich, and I just love it. So anyway, there you have it. There are the brushables swatched. I'm sorry for anyone who likes fast forwarding through swatches. So now what I'd like to do is swatch the scroll and brush for you. So the scroll and brush is fun. You can totally do scroll work, or you can do borders. A lot of you out there are way more talented than I am. You know, I've seen the stuff you create. It's amazing. So I can't do these justice like some of you could, but I'll just kind of show you. Let me put this up here. So I have been practicing cute little things like borders, and I like borders that allow me to use both ends because that's fun. So what you want to do is make sure you're holding the pen at a 45-degree angle. I feel like I'm still getting the hang of that, but this is the steel gray. So again, this is really just to give you an idea about the, you know, the color. that these are making. And of course the other side is the brush side. So great for practicing brush lettering. I feel like it's really nice. If you like the journal and title, I think you'd have a lot of fun with this one because you'd have fun with that scroll end. So this one, again, is the steel gray. Let me do some other shades of blue for you, and I'll try to not prolong some of this. So this shade of blue is Blue Jay. So I'll just do, so I guess I shouldn't forget to say, you know, some people like to do lettering with the scroll end. I am terrible at it, so I feel like there's a learning curve there. But this is the Blue Jay, okay, Blue Jay. And then next to it, we'll swatch the Pure Blue. I don't see a huge difference personally between the brush end of the Blue Jay and the Pure Blue. This one is Baby Blue. Yay. They don't usually use the name Baby Blue in Japan. You'll see Baby Pink, and a lot of times people will get confused by that, but this is the Baby Blue, which I should look and see if they call it Baby Blue in Japan too, or if they just call it Baby Blue in the US. But there's Baby Blue. Why don't we move on to Teal? Hope you're still on here. Let me flip the page so that I can zoom in to a blank space. I think you guys will like that. Okay, so that gives you an idea about the scroll side. And the brush side, this one is Teal. Why don't we do Ocean next? Ocean. There's Ocean. Kind of getting into the greens. Why don't we do Spring Green? So this better look like a grass green. Let's see if it does. Oh yeah, it does look like a grass green. And then we have Evergreen. I remember this one's gorgeous. I like this one. Oh, there you have your Evergreen. And another green, oops, I went off. Your other green, the Pure Green. I'll swatch Pure Green right below Evergreen. It's just, this is a gorgeous green. I think it will be really hard for people to pick their colors on this one because there are so many good colors. Let's do pinks next. It's nice to see the baby pink on white, you know, compared to that yellow, personally. There's an O. And an O. And then next to the baby pink, we'll do Salmon. So here's the Salmon. And let's do a couple more pinks here. Pure Pink. Definitely, these are pens that you're gonna wanna get and practice with. I still don't feel like I'm very good at them. Did I say this was Pure Pink? I hope so. And then right below Pure Pink, I will swatch that Rose. There's the rose swatched. Promise the ends in sight here. Appreciate anyone who's actually interested in this. Pure red. Swatching the pure red right below the rose so you can see just a little bit of a difference. Antique burgundy, this has to be, yes. Okay, let me do another fun variation there. Let's go into the browns. We have wheat. Oh yeah, I remember this one was interesting. Wheat. Swatched there. Make sure I'm still on camera here. And then right below wheat, I'll swatch pure brown. There's your pure brown swatched. We just have 7 left. We've got pure yellow. There's your pure yellow. And right next to pure yellow, I will do the apricot here. Again, the key to the scroll pen, once you start practicing with it, is hold it at a 45-degree angle. That's for the scroll pen. Oops. Okay. Oh, that was a terrible letter, but that's why we practice. Okay, pure orange. The pure orange is really nice. Beautiful color. All right, 4 more left here. We've got platinum. Let's move up. Hopefully, if you've been interested in this pen, this gives you an idea what color you might want to try first. Most people, this one's black. Most people will just, of course, start with a couple colors, see if they really even like the pen. And they wouldn't buy the whole set. And then 2 purples, hyacinth. We'll do hyacinth first. I don't know, you can really experiment with stuff. For your journaling and I don't know. That's hyacinth and pure violet. I'll do pure violet right below hyacinth. Really don't know what I'm doing. There you go. So I hope that those swatches helped you understand the colors, and I hope you don't feel like I was gypping you of the swatches, because I know some people were feeling frustrated by that. So now that we've swatched all these pens, let me show you kind of how this one writes. So I like these smaller, firmer brush pens for practicing because I like making smaller letters when I practice, and actually I like, just in general, I like smaller letters. It's just kind of like how I prefer fine tip pens. So again, you get this pen, the number 7 pen. I think it's called, in Japanese, I think they call it the Fude Hoku or something like that. I believe on our site, I put both the Japanese and the English name, if you're curious. But they usually call this the brush pen number 7. But it comes with the 2 refillable cartridges. So I'll just do some alphabet work. So you could do, with this pen, you could totally do this bigger size letter, or I actually like to do the smaller letters with this pen, honestly. And that's just like a practicing preference. I know some people really like to practice, their favorite practice pen is the Tombow ABT, and I like that practice pen too, but I have to do bigger letters with it personally. And so then it takes up so much more practice paper, but it's good to practice in all different sizes anyway. So let me zoom in. So one of the big keys for me in brush lettering, which seems so obvious but really was eye-opening for me, was to understand how slow really that you probably want to go to make nice letters. I think that a lot of us think of handwriting, and especially cursive, as something that was supposed to speed up our handwriting and not something that's like a slow art. I feel like lettering is a little bit closer to drawing than writing. So if you're really frustrated with brush lettering, always just try to slow down what you're doing and just see if that helps you a little bit. Now, I hate S's. Every S style I've ever found is just, I just hate it. So I'm kind of on the hunt for an attractive S personally. But I think that one always looks so weird. U-T-U-V-W X-Y. And so you can kind of see when I started going faster there, it became a sloppy mess. Don't be afraid to go back in. There is no rule that says after you make a letter, you can't go back in and try to fix it. So those are just some of my tips. I really like this, again, especially if you don't want to make huge letters. You want a finer, firmer brush pen. And this one is definitely nice, and it's really nice in that it is refillable. Now you do want to make sure you're practicing on smooth paper. You don't want to practice these nice pens you buy on something like recycled American paper, because even though that's ecological, it will make your ends crappy, and the ends aren't part of the refill, so you would have essentially ruined your pen and had to buy a new pen. So that's another little tip for you. All right, well, I hope that you somewhat enjoyed my tremendous swatching in this video. I'm gonna try to do more of that for you. And again, my hope is that if you don't like swatching, you can simply fast forward through it. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll be back with another video soon. Bye-bye.